Yo guys, what's going on, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is going to be a little extra video compared to what we usually upload during the week, and that's because it's going to be a slightly different topic video. This is going to be a Premier League predictions sort of video in terms of the table, not results, just the table. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. It was a viewer suggestion. Please do get involved in the comments below and tell me how you think even the top 4 teams, what they're going to be and who is going to win it, etc, etc. Now, I know this isn't typical Football Manager content, but it is football based, so I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you do, please do leave a like on this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. If you guys do enjoy this sort of side of things, I am more than happy to do actual football videos in terms of talking about real life football, because I love doing that. I'm also willing to actually do this website where you can predict every single fixture. So if you guys would like to see that, obviously by then the season might have started, but I can always start late. So if you guys do want to see that, comment it below. But let's get in and do some predictions and hopefully not get slated in the comments. So first off, credits where credits due. Shout out to predict.footmob.com. If I remember, I'm going to leave a link so you guys can do this for yourself. Again, very basic sort of website, but it lets you predict, obviously, just by simply drag and blah, blah, blah. So it's an alphabetical. Do not think I am out of my mind and I think this is going to be the table. It starts off in alphabetical order. Now, how are we going to do this then, boys? How are we going to do this? I am going to start, I think, by doing... Let's do bottom to top. So relegation to winners. I can see the comments. Right, I'm going to say it right from the start, okay? Right from the start. I support Manchester United. I'm not going to be biased towards them. This is my prediction. Do not slate me. Please do not slate me. Because this is all a matter of opinion, right, guys? Please take that into consideration. It's all a matter of opinion. It genuinely is. So we're going to start off with 20th place then, which obviously the bottom 3 are automatically relegated. Now, a team which I'm going to purely put there because I can't see them staying up. I don't think they've got a great team. I don't also think they've got the biggest ground, to be honest. I don't really see them staying up at all. I see them being a bit of a spanking team, to be honest, is going to be Bournemouth, going all the way down into 20th place. Sorry, Bournemouth fans, I just don't think you're ready for the Premier League yet. Hopefully you prove me wrong, but I just can't see Bournemouth staying up this season. I really can't. We are then going to be putting in our 19th place, which also is going to be a recently promoted side, and that is going to be Fulham. I do apologise. I do apologise again. I just think out of the 3 teams that come up, the only team I can see possibly staying in is going to be Nottingham Forest, because I like the business they've done, I'm going to be honest. I like the signings they've made. I think they've got a good shot at doing it, but I can see Bournemouth and Fulham getting relegated. So again, I do apologise, but hopefully they prove me wrong. But I just can see them 2 going down 100%. I really can. Now, the next team might come as a shock. It might not. It shouldn't come as a shock considering they finished very close to it last season. But in 18th place, so a team that's going to be going down, this is going to cause a lot of drama, the Leeds United. Leeds United, I genuinely think it's time that they go down. Not time as in I want them to go down, but I genuinely think they could be going down. Obviously, they lost Rafinha, which is a very, very big player for them. They scraped it literally by next to nothing last season. And I just don't see them as a special team, to be honest with you. Like, I respect the club. The fans have got passion. I give it to them. But I just don't think they are where they need to be. I don't think they've got the squad. And obviously also they've lost they've lost the maestro, haven't they? They've lost Phillips in the middle. You take him and Rafinha, what are you left with? You know, it's a sad reality. And yes, it would be bad for the Premier League because they are a team rich with history, but you know, football's a cruel sport and I can just see him going down. So that is going to be my 18th place. Next team, I've already put it there, is going to be Southampton. Now, this is just, it's no disrespect, but Southampton are always a team which don't strike me to be too threatening, to be honest with you. Obviously, last season, finishing in 15th place. I don't think they're going to get relegated. I think they've got enough quality to stay up, but I don't think they're good enough to really get any higher than that. I think there's better teams, and I think, I know what you guys are thinking. Obviously, I've still got Nottingham Forest, who obviously have come up, but I think they're going to honestly, towards the start of the season, I think they're going to have a little bit of fire about them, but I can just see Southampton just about staying up, not by a lot. I think it'll be quite close between them and Leeds, to be honest with you. Moving on to the next place then, it probably comes to no surprise, it is going to be Nottingham. I think this would actually be a very good result for them. Any club that comes up, the main goal should be survival, and I think Nottingham have got a very good chance of doing it. A lot of people would disagree with me, and I'm 100% fine to talk about that, but I just think Nottingham have got a bit of fire about them. They've brought in some very good players. Obviously, it depends what Lingard you get as well. If you get a Lingard that, you know, was West Ham form, I know he's playing with worse players, but they could really kickstart something here. I'm not talking about finishing top 10, anything like that, but survival is definitely a possibility, and I genuinely think they could survive. I honestly do. They haven't got world-class players, I get that, but they have got a good foundation, a decent set of lads, and I genuinely think this is quite a reasonable placing for them. In 15th place then, we have got Everton coming in at 15, as I just said. But Everton's a weird one for me, you know, because they've got some decent players. Like, obviously, you got your Calvert-Lewins. Why am I only just saying Calvert-Lewin? They have got some decent players, but obviously they've lost Richarlison, who played a decent part in their sort of survival last year. And they never seem to really kickstart, do they? Like, they get new managers in, you know, things might go well for a game or two, but it's the same old Everton, and it is a shame because now there's only one team in Liverpool, really, isn't there? You know, the Merseyside derby isn't really a Merseyside derby anymore. Whenever I watch that game, I always think Liverpool's got this easy. And it is a shame because at the end of the day, like, it would be good to see that competitive again, but for me, this is the best they're going to do this season. I genuinely don't see them doing any better than this. Again, for them, they'd probably take it because it is survival, and I think it'd be quite a big ask for them to go from surviving to instantly expecting them to get into the top 10. They're years, and I mean years off even being in talks of Europa League, even Conference League. So for me, I think this is a very reasonable placement, and sorry if I've offended anyone, but I'm just speaking the truth. As you'll hear me say about my own club, which is going to be Manchester United, and I'll be deadly honest about that as well. Moving up from Everton is going to be already there for me. It is going to be Brentford. Now, I've put these here because I'm not just saying it because I lost Eriksen, sorry, because it is a big loss, Eriksen, but I feel like they've still got a decent set of players, but I just don't think they've really convinced me to the point where they're going to do much better than what they did last season. I've actually placed them one position lower than last season because of the loss of Eriksen. Obviously, they've still got the likes of Tony and things like that, but I don't know, man. I don't see him being anything too special. So for me, I think this is a very, very, very fair placement. And I think, again, they would take it. I think Brentford have got a lot of investing to do before they actually progress up the table. But the league's so competitive now, there's going to be years upon years where these teams are going to be about this sort of level. And for me, it's sort of, you know, again, it's not anything too special, but I'm pretty sure Brentford fans would take it. Again, they weren't horrific last season. Could have done slightly better, but losing Eriksen is never a nice thing, is it? So, I mean, that is why I put them in 14th place. So, coming in 13th place then is going to be Aston Villa. There we go. Just above of Brentford. Now, they finished 14th last season, but I really like this team. There's something about this team I really like. I think Gerrard is doing a fantastic job as manager, and I genuinely think that, you know, this team are on the up. Do I think they're going to be in the Champions League or Europa League in the next sort of 3-4 years? Probably not, to be honest. I'm going to be honest, I don't see him doing it even in the next, probably 3-4 years, I can't see him doing it. But he is building a very, very good team there, and I do respect what he's doing. And I think 13th, again, it is one position up from what they were last season. I think they've got the players to do it. I think it's, like I said, I think it's going to go from strength to strength. They're like one of the teams. I remember when they signed Coutinho, I was like, how the hell have they done that? That's how they roll at the end of the day. And I think they are a team that definitely is on the up. And I'm excited to watch them play. And to be honest, possibly in a couple of seasons, we might see them break into that top 10. Still a bit of work to do. But for me, I think it's a very fair placement. And yeah, so I'm going to put them in 13th. Moving on, they're actually there already for me, is going to be a Wolverhampton, Wolves, whatever you want to say. Now, Wolves, for me, they've had their struggles in the past. Obviously, they went on that big goal drought. Whether it was that last season or the season before. They do have their, you know, their weaker sides, but they always are able to pluck a result here and there. And Wolves are just one of them teams. They finished 10th last season. I don't think they're going to do as well this season because I think other teams have strengthened, and I don't think Wolves are going to just be as good. I'm looking at it here. In their last 5 games of the league, they actually didn't win. So towards the later end of the season, they did fall off a little bit. And I genuinely think that they aren't going to be top 10. I don't think they're going to be 10th place either. So I have dropped them a couple of places. Obviously, again, still a very good finish for them. But when you've got João Moutinho, when you've got Neves, you've got players like that, you know, if you've got a Jimenez that plays, and the likes of them sort of caliber of players, you've always got a shot at doing decent in the Premier League. And for me, I think 12th place is a very good placement for them. I think it's realistic. I think it's a good prediction, to be honest with you. Like I said, please do comment throughout this video though, guys, because I do want this to turn into a bit of a conversation. I would love it to, you know, be back and forth in the replies, just discussing where we think we're going to be. Not where we're going to be. I'm not a Wolves fan, but, you know, just in general, whatever team you support, do voice your opinion in the comments. But let's go and rank where we think position 11 belongs to. Position 11 is going to be to Crystal Palace. There we go. We can get him in. Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace actually played some decent football last season. I'm going to be honest. Vieira did get them playing. They look like quite a difficult team to play against. And I wish I could have points on here because I'd make it very close. I think the gap between these three here is going to be very minute. I think it's going to be quite a competitive sort of area of the table. But I think Crystal Palace just have something about them. Obviously, I know they've not got ridiculously world-class players, but obviously they've got Yazahas, who, to be honest, when he turns up, is a nightmare to play against. I always remember him playing Tottenham in that game where he rattled the entire team by himself. And if you've got the likes of Eze as well, obviously I know he was, you know, struck by injury last season. But I just think Palace, it's a weird one with Palace because I really, again, it's a team I like to watch, but they're not a team, in my opinion, that are coming up like an Aston Villa, where I can see in the next 3 or 4 years that they're going to be above and beyond that. Because I think Villa will be not clear, but they're going to be a little bit better than Palace in probably next season. Not the season coming up, but the following season, if not the next one. Palace are just a team that seem to be able to grind results. They did last year especially, actually finishing 12th last year. So I've put them a place above them because I think obviously there's a few teams that I think are going to do worse. So they've pretty much gone up the table, not because I think they're going to play better, but just because I think a couple of the teams have got worse. So that is why, more than anything. But again, I think Crystal Palace fans would take that with a click of the finger and run with it. Because again, a very good placing for them if it does happen. Moving on then, which is going to be to 10th place, is going to be Newcastle United. They have made, obviously, some great signings. And they are really building a project. And it is, do you know what? There's a lot of negativity surrounding that sort of aspect of things, because obviously rich owners coming in, is it ruining the game? I don't think it is. It's really nice to see Newcastle be a home name again, you know. Obviously, it's a massive club, and for a while they were the laughing stock of the Premier League. They were the battering team, but they're building something special there, and I hope it continues. I really do. It's not going to be a 5-minute job. I feel like when the owners come in, you saw the money, you saw the figures. People thought, you know what, yeah, next season we'll get top 6. Nah, not how football works, guys. But for me, they are building a fantastic project there. And I genuinely think in the next sort of 5 to 6 years, you possibly could even see them getting into the conference, into Europa. If they make the right signings, so far they've done well. Eddie Howe, what a manager he has been. Fair play to him. He is doing a great job there. And to be honest, I think 10th place is very realistic for them. Obviously, last season they finished in 11th, so I've not given too much of an upgrade to that. But it is also because going up the table, teams have strengthened as well. So do take that into account. I'm not disrespecting the club. It's just clubs above them have strengthened. So, I mean, to be honest, it's sort of like, I think they are going to do slightly better, but it is still a project. It's not going to instantly, they're not going to instantly go from the old Newcastle to battle a Man City at the top, are they? So for me, that is why they are sat at 10th place. Moving on, which is going to be 9th place, and that is going to be Leicester City. Now, this team finished 8th last season, so I have knocked them down a bit. It's a mixture of obviously teams getting better at the top, and also just the fact that Leicester, I don't know what it is with Leicester at the moment. I genuinely don't know what it is. When I used to watch Leicester, I used to get this feeling like electric, like they were just something about them, like they were deadly on the counter. They were just interesting to watch, but they don't give me that same sort of feeling anymore. I think a bit of spark's missing from that club. I genuinely do. I don't know what it is. They could do with, you know, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but when they won the league, now I want to be careful how I say this. When they won the league, I think we all knew it was downhill from there. It was a magical moment. I don't like to sound negative. That league obviously happened because Leicester were incredible, but also the top teams weren't their best, if we're being honest. But since they won that, it's gone downhill a bit. Obviously, as soon as they won it the following season, some of their key players left. Obviously, you got Mahrez, you got Kante leaving, which has been for a while now. And they're very good in recruitment. I'm not disrespecting them, but you've got the likes of, you know, you got Maddison part of last season. Did he want to be there? Did he not want to be there? He was injured, etc., etc. You've got Tielemans. Is he going to move? Is he going to move? Blah, blah, blah. What's going on? You got Kasper Schmeichel, who's a fantastic goalkeeper, but he is getting older. You've got a lot of things at that club, and I just don't think this season they're going to be compared to the teams that are above them. So I'm not disrespecting them. I just think the teams that are above them have got a better chance of finishing above. It's as simple as that. So that is going to be it for Leicester. But let's go into 8th place, which is going to be West Ham. We're already there. Now, I know you're probably seeing one team in here, which I will talk about. You probably think, has he missed it? But I haven't. I've done it on purpose. So, West Ham, for me, are a fantastic team. A fantastic team. Obviously, again, towards the end of last season, out of their last 5 games, they only won 1. So, they did fall off a bit towards the end. West Ham are a team which I think have got... Their fans are fantastic. They are very, very good, very passionate, very loyal. Obviously, they idolise Declan Rice. Who wouldn't? I think West Ham have got a good team. They've got a good manager as well. But again, I think there's work to be done in the team. And I just don't think, in my eyes, they've strengthened enough to beat the teams that are above them. This point in the table is very difficult for me to do because it's not saying the team's bad. It's just, it's more than anything that the team that I put above them, I don't think they're as good as, if that makes sense. So no disrespect to anyone when I'm ranking this, but for me, West Ham are going to be in 8th. Before we do carry on though, guys, and get into the top 7, please do smash this video a like and please do comment below of what your thoughts are on my predictions. Again, it is a prediction, so please do disagree if you want to disagree. It's what makes the video so fun. But please also do subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on notifications. There's loads of Football Manager content, and if this goes well, there'll be loads of actual football content, such as, you know, just talking about transfers, results, predictions, the lot. But let's get into the top 7, which obviously is going to be Europa Conference and above. I've been sat here for about 15 minutes just thinking. And I don't want to do them dirty here, but I am going to change one of my things, and that is going to be Brighton are actually going to drop into 8th and West Ham are going to go into 7th, just because Brighton are very good. They've kept their manager. They have got a very good team, but I just can't see them in Europa Conference. It's like a mental block I've got in my head. I don't know what it is, but I can see West Ham getting in there. So I'm going to quickly swap them to around. But I mean this, guys. Literally, this could be like this for me in my head. This could be like that. But just out of instinct, I'm going to put West Ham in 7th place. But that could honestly, between these 3 teams, it could be a mix-up. I'm going to be honest. The Premier League is so good, man. It's so good because anything can happen. And so many teams are so close to each other. Like, if we look, I'm looking at the table on my other monitor. But if we look last season, you had Brentford on 46 points, Crystal Palace on 48, Newcastle on 49, 2 teams on 51, then a 52. Everything was so close, all to play for, and that is what makes it so special. But let's get into the top 6 then. So, oh man, I can see the red flags rising already. Oh man, I can't. I'm right. Okay, so let's be honest. I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm saying it 3 times. I'm a Manchester United fan. Please do not slate me in the comments, because I know there's quite a few Manchester United fans out there that probably will watch this. So, for me, between 6th and 5th is Chelsea and Manchester United. That's what I see. Now, it's difficult because I'm predicting this and there's still a bit of the transfer window to go, right? But Chelsea have missed out on so many signings. They've lost so many players at the back more than anything, which is quite worrying. It is quite worrying to me. And honestly, Tottenham are looking very scary. They are looking very scary. I am going to go Chelsea in 6th, Manchester United in 5th is what I'm going to do there, because I genuinely think that, I mean, Arsenal, it's a difficult one because Arsenal, again, I do like, I hype up Arsenal quite a lot considering I'm not a fan. I think Arsenal are going to do better than United. The big part of me that thinks yes, I'm going to be honest. The thing with Manchester United is I feel like, me included, I got carried away with the friendlies, you know, and all of this, and Ten Hag, fantastic manager, but we're still quite a few players short, as are Chelsea. I can see us edging Chelsea a little bit, I'm going to be honest, because, do you know what though, we're in similar situations as Chelsea. Chelsea lost a striker in Lukaku, who they've not been able to replace. We've got Ronaldo, who doesn't want to be here, who probably won't be here, and probably won't be given his 100% anyway. And also, we both could do with some defenders. So, I mean, I am going to give Manchester United the edge in that debate, purely based off the fact that we've got a new manager come in. I think they're going to go through that sort of honeymoon spell where the manager does really work with the players well. And I think that it's not going to be pretty for Manchester United this season, but I think they might just edge it over Chelsea. We're then going to do this. I'm actually going to have Arsenal in 4th place and Tottenham in 3rd place there, because I think Arsenal are just going to beat Manchester United to that top 4 spot. I think they're looking very good. Got a fantastic manager, strengthened beyond any means, fantastic signings. And to be honest, they only just fell short last season, so it would be a bit, you know, be a bit stupid not to think that they're going to do it again. So for me, 4th place, Tottenham in 3rd, and this is the debate here. By the way, Tottenham, don't take Tottenham for a joke anymore. Don't take Tottenham or Arsenal for a joke. They're both very good sides, guys, who are both strengthened very well. So we're now on to the big debate, the big one. Man City or Liverpool? Let's talk about signings first, shall we? So we'll name the big boy, obviously from Liverpool, is going to be Nunez. I was going to say Alvarez. Nunez. He's been getting a lot of stick on Twitter about how he's been playing in friendlies, his first touch, things like that. Klopp loads past Leipzig. For me, Klopp's the best manager in the world. I'm going to say that as a United fan. I think Klopp's the best manager in the world, purely because I like the way he is with his players. Pep's got that bond as well, but Klopp has that ability to sort of just like transform players like, for example, Diaz couldn't speak a word of English when he come. Looked absolutely flawless in his first few games. Sorry, I really like Klopp. To be fair, I'd probably say he's on the same level as Pep. Possibly, I'm going to tie them two. Possibly because Pep has won a lot in his career. I do respect him. Interesting to see how we do at a smaller club though. Would be interesting. But Manchester City, Haaland, Phillips, Alvarez. Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Probably going to sign Cucurella. They've got to come top, guys. They've got to come top. Manchester City are going to be your Premier League champions at the end of the day. And I think it is going to be a very, very difficult season. I think the battle... When I say difficult season, by the way, I think it's going to be a difficult season for this area more than anything. 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. I think it's going to be very close, but that's how I predict it. I think this season, we're actually going to see a bit more of a gap between Manchester City and Liverpool. I really do. Last season, it was a point, as we were aware of. I think this season, Man City are going to have a little bit of a lead. Not a lot, but about 8 or 9 points. 7, 8 points. I think is going to be the result of that. Purely because I think Liverpool need a midfielder. I think Liverpool are crying out for a midfielder. I would love to see him go out and get Bellingham. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he's the only Premier League team I can see him going to. And I'm a person which loves to see top talent in the English league. So I think if Liverpool got Bellingham, I think it could be a completely different race. But for me, that is going to be my predictions at the end of the day. And I know it might upset a few people. Obviously, everyone's going to have a different opinion on this. But I'll scroll down pretty slowly so you guys can see. We've got Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, West Ham, Brighton, Leicester City, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Villa, Brentford, Everton, Nottingham, Southampton, and the teams going down, Leeds, Fulham, and Bournemouth. But slightly longer video today though, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please do smash the like button, because that will encourage me to do more sort of IRL football content. Not like actual me playing, but more sort of real life football content in terms of predictions, just maybe reactions and things like that. So if you are enjoying it, please do comment that you do like it, and do subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also, I have got something going on, which is going to be a Q&A. Now, if you guys do want to have your question put in my Q&A video that is coming out, do comment either on this video, on a TikTok post, on Twitter, or Instagram. But that is going to be it for today, guys. Hope you have had a great time watching it. I hope I've not offended too many of you, and I'll see you in the next one.